way, most of you already know us, CC and Brandon, Escape the Rumors, and this is our first segment for Behind the MasterMinds.
Yeah, and our guests today are?
Our special guests today, all the way from Poland, are Bartosz Izowski and Jacob Kaban, and they're the creators of Lock Me, which is an online escape room directory, and ER Champ, which is an escape room championship that we are proud to be patrons for this year, 2020. That is free to attend, but we'll have more information for that for you guys on another day. But let's get back to this. They are escape room enthusiasts with over 450 rooms played. Man.
I think it's a little bit more than ours.
Yeah, you guys got us beat. And obviously, this is how the escape room board game series was created, because being enthusiasts, where does it all draws from inspiration of real life play, right? They've been featured on Rozmowa Echo 24, Radio Poland, and TVN 24, and that's just to name a few, obviously.
Right, we have a celebrity with us today.
Currently, they have 3 games from their Escape Tales series. The first one is The Awakening, the second one is Low Memory, and the third one, which we don't have a copy of, but I think it's the newest one, which is Children of Wormwoods. So please join us and let's welcome our guest from Escape Tales.
So today our main goal is to find out what is your inspiration behind making these games, and besides the fact that you're enthusiasts, what did you all of a sudden one day you're like, can I just make a board game for other people to enjoy? What was your concept?
Well, the main idea came after we have played a lot of other escape room board games like Exit, like Unlock, or Deckscape, I'm not sure. Many others. And while they were pretty fun, they were not really that satisfying to us. As you said, we've been to a lot of rooms, and we know what makes good escape room. And it's not just puzzles, it's the whole experience. And what we were missing in these board games was in fact this experience. So we've decided, also we like board games, obviously. So we decided to just sit with a whiteboard and try to write some ideas about what could be done better. And after those ideas, we simply knew that we can make it different, maybe not better, but try a different approach.
Right.
And well, from that point, it was long looking for someone who would publish it for us and then develop it with us. But the first spark that started it all was that there is something missing in this market, and we wanted to show some different approach.
Yes, and we developed ideas that, first of all, there is no need for time limit in board games. Because, of course, when we are going to an escape room, time limit is very important. We get time pressure. But when we are buying escape game to our home, I don't want to have clock about me. So we need to figure out another way to make a pressure on player, but not time, because in our minds, player need to go through the story and have quite longer play from this board game. The second thing was about story. Most of these games don't have stories. Of course, they've got maybe 1 or 2 lines, you are locked up in a prison and you need to escape, end of the story. We decided that first of all, we want to make deep story, and second of all, we want to make quite hard story. Not so easy. It won't be fairy tale. It needs to be just like, for example, in Awakening, about the father who is losing his daughter. Mm-hmm. And the third thing was about every of this game is trying to say you at the end that you were clever or stupid, because they always give you stars. They give you information how well you manage. But no, sorry, I don't want to be judged how it goes, because
I want to have fun.
I want to have fun.
Right.
So we decide to give to the players just different endings of stories based on their decisions during the game, but not based on how well they made riddles.
Right. I mean, this is our first board game that in the Escape series that we played that actually gave a choice situation.
Yeah.
Which we every time during the game we're like, did we make the right choice, or can I like cheat and go back and see if I choose the other one, what would happen?
Especially low memory. I mean, there was so many different avenues to go down.
Yeah. But which makes it replayable, which is that's another thing that I feel like a lot of the games doesn't really provide. Is you play one time and you're kind of done with it.
Yeah.
You can give it away, but what if you had like cutting pieces in there, and then you can't make it like like together again.
That's one thing I really appreciate is there's no cutting in here. And the stories behind it is really creative and amazing. I mean, there's so much like meat in there, and what the story we're trying to depict and find out more about is just so intriguing, and we really appreciated it. So our second question for you guys: if you were to do anything different to the games today, either one, would you change anything? Like, is there anything you would go back and change?
A lot of the escape room, where every time we talk to them, they're always like, our escape room is constantly on the concept of being changed or edited, because every time we put out the product, we always remember something and we thought, oh, this will be so cool to add in the room. And then as people play, they also give feedback, and then they constantly want to do changes. So we're always wondering, like, for board game designers, do you also have that kind of feel?
Of course we do. In the first game, we would definitely go back and give some more feedback to the endings, so that the player knows why this ending is his ending or her ending of the story, because we want it to be... It is quite logical, but it's all happening behind the curtains, so our players, we know from the feedback, they don't understand why these decisions and this path led them to this ending. So this is one thing that we would definitely concentrate more in the awakening. While in the low memory, we would probably make some of the puzzles easier now, because the level of difficulty is rising from the story to story in low memory, and it may be too difficult for many players.
Yeah, I mean, we sensed a little bit on that when we played the second game. Although we actually prefer the low memory game more, because it broke down the long play into 3 little storylines, which I thought was a lot, more calming.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching a TV show where each character in a different episode tells their story and how they intertwine down the road. That's what I got, like something like Lost, where you see like one character development.
TV show. It have a little bit like Black Mirror style, and we think about this like a TV show, so we decide to divide it into 3 sections, and we always tell to people never play this game at one session. Always play it like you are watching a long TV show, 1 episode per evening, and it's better way. So as I heard, you did that, and this is the best way to play this game.
Yeah, like take a break, go back, come back, and continue the episode, continue the game. Yeah, definitely.
One of our oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying that the next story is definitely like the next episode. It's not just continuation of what you were doing. It's completely different view of the story.
Right.
One of our viewers was asking where you can get these games. Do you want to do a little promo? Where can you get them?
They want to know where can you purchase these games now if you were to go online.
You just need to Google this, because of course you can buy this in the United States. We also have a Korean version of these games, German versions, Spain versions,
Portuguese version, Dutch version. I think Japan and French is coming out.
Yes, so you just need to Google this, because there is different publishers in different countries. But you just can find this on Google.
It is definitely available in US everywhere. Maybe not in retail stores, or maybe even, I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. But...
It's like, I just create games.
Yeah, we're everywhere out there.
It's just other people's jobs.
We are cooperating with our publisher, so we are just designing the game. And then the game goes to them, and they are doing all they can to get many translations to publish it everywhere around the world, wherever they can.
So besides the language issue, do you have any other things that when you're trying to get the game to worldwide, is there any issues you're seeing, when you're creating the game? Because obviously there are some puzzles that makes a lot more sense in your language or in English, and then when you translate into another language, perhaps there's some changes, and it just all doesn't really make the same sense as you thought it would. Do you have that feedback from your purchasers?
Well, usually our partners in other countries do pretty good job of translating everything, puzzles included. We just send them files where they can edit all the text on the file so it will fit their language. And I think there are not so many problems with it.
Yes, if they have any problems, we always help them because, of course, language independent riddles are quite tricky. So sometimes we need to explain something more and help them to develop better version of this puzzle in their language.
Oh, okay. I'm always curious to the the board games that make it to overseas and all over the world versus ones that are just in English or in their own language. Was this like a Kickstarter project that just became massive? Because you guys are distributing all over the world, so how did that happen?
It wasn't Kickstarter. It's just magic that happens behind our backs. Our publisher did really good job to promote the game and sell it to other publishers around the world. And then the game became quite successful, especially for the first part from people who never designed board game before, so that others and others came and wanted to buy it. And we don't know how this happened, to be honest.
Because it's not our job. This is our publisher job. We love them. I hope they love us. And so we just cooperate together to make good games.
Well, when you have a great product, it's usually word of mouth because someone will say, "Hey, did you try this game?" And then they'll share it with their friends, and then the buzz will spread.
Yeah. Well, our next question is, how long did it take you to make the game from the start to end?
So the first game from idea, it took for about four months to develop the system of the game.
Just the idea, nothing more.
Just the idea, and later making one game took about 9 months.
So it got longer. I thought it was supposed to be easier.
Well, full memory takes a lot longer than.
The hard because of the testing, because you need to make whole game or at least half of the game before you can test it, because you need to make puzzles, later you need to make illustrations, you need to write every text in the game, and when you done these things you can start testing. This is really hard because in these puzzles, for example, the things on illustrations are very important, so you need to invest and draw it first, and later you need to change it. So the
many times.
Yes, many times changes. So it took a lot of time to test it and to make it better. But first you need to do everything. You can't just make a prototype of the game.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know if there's a horror story that you guys like to share in terms of if you had any print errors that came out after the first one. You're like, oh no, I just printed like thousands of copies. Like, what should I do now?
We were really close to a mistake.
Yeah.
But I think our favorite abroad publisher, South Korean company, I don't know their name, I don't remember. B.I.T. Oh. When in the awakening, when everything was prepared and sent to our manufacturer, our files for English version, we've sent it to the South Korea so that they can see the game and start translating. They came back after a few days, maybe a week later, and told us that they had understood all the game from the production files. They didn't get any prototype from the production
From
files.
Excel files in general.
I think that was from BTP,
Oh, maybe.
to print. So they had understood the game, they had prepared the game, they had played every possible situation, and they had found that on one card, one paragraph number was wrong.
Oh my goodness.
So it was amazing that they found it. We didn't after months of tests. They found it in just 1 week, having no knowledge beforehand about the game. Fortunately for us, it was before the manufacturer started to print it, so it was simple to just fix it. But yeah, it was a mistake that could be costful, but
Wow. See, it's one of those, because I know another game developer who was like, oh no, just for one little piece, I had to reprint the entire game from production. That must be pretty painful. Yeah.
No, it's impossible to make such mistakes because, the production is in China, for example. It takes a few months. Later, it takes, for example, 3 months to sail to US or to Europe from China. So we don't have time because usually we have a premiere on Essen. In Essen on Spiel. So no, we can't make any mistakes.
Yeah. Like you said the production's in China, so you have like one factory that makes all the games. So
we don't know.
Oh.
We don't know details, but in general, it's made in China. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you get like a sample of it that you can sort of make sure there's no issues before it goes?
This year, no, because of the pandemic, obviously. Yeah. But usually, we got the preprint test.
Does it get easier as you have new games and you find like a solid supplier? You kind of like stick with them throughout the production process, and then for now, like is the new game a lot smoother in terms of production, or every like game is itself a problem?
Probably yes, but we are not doing production. We don't know.
Right.
We are just designing the game.
Okay.
And from one perspective, to be honest, it is becoming more and more difficult, not easier. Simply because we have to make something new every time. We don't want to take the same puzzles and just give them to our players in other form. We are trying to always come out with something new. And as you have seen in The Awakening, there were like 50 puzzles, in Low Memory more than 40, in Children of Werewolves there are even more. And it's simply difficult to get the new ideas in the time frame that we need.
Yeah, I mean, we do see that in the Low Memory. I feel like for the value that you put in for it's basically like 3 mini games in one, big one that you can play separately on.
Yeah, it's like purchasing a whole season of watching a show as opposed to one episode.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot more value in there.
Should we get into it?
There was an idea to sell a game in seasons, just like you've told
in the beginning.
But it was killed. It was bad. There was this idea.
Yeah. Well, our next question is for I don't really know, but in terms of the brains behind this, is it just you two that's coming out with the entire concept, or you actually have a team?
No. In design process, yes, it's only both of us. We are doing design of the game, but behind the game there is a lot of people. But during the first game, there was for about maybe 6 people behind this game, maybe 7.
A little bit more than 5 or 6.
Yes.
Most.
Right now, during the third game, it was for about 20 people.
Wow.
It's getting bigger and bigger because games are getting bigger.
And our publisher is getting bigger.
Yes, so but in design process there is still only 2 of us.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
How many sleepless nights are there during that 4 months process?
No, there is no sleepless night because we've got deadlines and we keep them. So this is our job. This is our daily job. Besides of the other things you told at the beginning, so we don't have to do any sleepless nights. And maybe some graphics from some TTP graphics. Agnieszka, hello. This year there was some sleepless night, but in our job, no. We are just doing a few hours a day, and it's okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I love to have that.
Well, I mean, I guess once you start getting it down, it just hopefully it becomes easier, right? For the next games that you guys produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember if I asked this, but was this a Kickstarter project initially? It's not. It was just plain. Okay, so you guys were just funding it by having like a supplier that wanted to publish this and sort of just went straight to it.
Yes, we just developed an idea. It's quite a funny story because we got an idea that we want to make a game. So what to do next? All what we know to how to develop puzzles, but we never published any game. So we need to find a publisher. Sounds quite easy. So we called our friend because we know that he is working in this industry, and we asked if he knew someone. And he said, yes, I know Philip. Here you get number. So I called Philip, and Philip said, okay, so I will be at your office in 30 minutes. So he came in 30 minutes to our office, and he asked what we want. So we said...
We gave him nearly nothing,
yes,
but it was enough.
We said we want to make a game. He asked, have you ever made any game? No, we never made any game. We have only idea. We have also unlocked me, so we've got some customers who will buy this, but in general, we have nothing.
We have just experience and customers.
Yes, do you want to...
Experience in puzzles, not in board games.
Yes, so we asked him if he wants to try, and he said he needs one day to talk with his business partner, and he came back, yes, okay, let's do this.
Wow.
So it's quite easy.
Yeah.
The beginning was it. The
That's
next
probably one
part,
of the smoothest stories I ever heard in terms of the creation and development.
Yeah.
Of how to get
30
started.
minutes, done.
it was just the first step, but from that point, it took us about 4 months to come out with the idea of the game, how it would work. And during those, both we and our publisher had moments when we wanted just to say, okay, we don't know how to do this, let's just stop. We were just this close to breaking the deal and get out from both sides.
Wow.
But in the end, when we started, it was like the final try, and we came out with the idea of the system that is in the Awakening, and we said, okay, it was worth it, let's work on it.
Well, I'm kind of glad that it's out.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have a game to play today.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's awesome. We're gonna take one little break here to have our audience type in the words "Wake Me Up" to enter yourselves into a drawing for next week. We're gonna announce this live, and one of our lucky winners will receive a copy of the
Awakening. Yeah, so guys who are tuning in right now, if you want to type in "Wake Me Up," and everyone who types it in, oh, there you go. Whoever types it in, we will draw a raffle for our next show, and we will pick a winner, and that winner will receive this game, which is incredible, by the way. And you won't be disappointed when you get that.
Sure.
So keep typing away until the end of the show, to the end of our segment.
Yeah. All right, so continue on. One question I always had is the budgeting, like between the games and the production and whatnot. So, did you guys have the resource for budgeting also from the publisher who wants to do the game, or you also have to have some sort of budget at the beginning for yourself to start?
We decided to split it, so half of the cost was on us and half of the costs were on the publisher.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of fair in terms of taking a risk. It's like we're in it together.
Yeah.
Either us or no.
That's passion. So.
And also, I asked about this already.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What made both us and them engaged in the project. If we would pay them to do everything, they wouldn't be such engaged. If it would be for their money, they could probably we wouldn't be as engaged in the project as we were. So it was perfect for them.
They also have to be interested in the product, or else it won't be. You're not going to feel the passion to develop it. So yeah. New products are coming out besides the games that we already know about. Anything exciting in the works that we can, get a little hint on?
Was Children of Wormwoods out?
That is out, right?
Right, Children of Wormwoods is available? Not yet.
Children of Wormwoods has premiere probably around Spiel, even though Spiel is just digital this year. It will be the third installment once again. It will be bigger than Low Memory, component-wise, puzzle-wise, story-wise, everything-wise.
Wow.
We know already that it will be a dark fantasy setting where main character will have to face his destiny that will somehow reveal something. I cannot tell anymore, sorry.
Developing this idea as I'm talking to you right now. So you'll know when we know.
In process.
That's great.
There will be some mechanics changes. There won't be progress tokens anymore. It will be only action tokens, but you will be able to combine items.
And you will have to combine
You will have
items.
to combine to do something. We can't tell what. So this is major changes, I believe.
There will be many more possible endings that will be much more variated than in Awakening or Low Memory, so that your story will really be just your story and your ending will probably be just your ending, because there are more than 60 possible endings in the Children of Mirwood.
Oh my goodness.
So there'll be many more hours and hours of play.
Yeah.
No.
It will be shorter. Gameplay-wise, it will be shorter than Low Memory, but it will be broader story-wise and hopefully puzzle-wise, but I'm not sure how many puzzles you play in one playthrough, because there is branching that goes beyond what you have seen in Low Memory.
Right.
Yeah. Another thing that I liked about the game is the location cards, right? Because we felt like we entered a different like.
Oh yeah, it actually physically felt like, because I mean, I think that's one of the things that when we play these escape rooms, it lacks the feel of being in a room or being in a setting, and I think you guys provide that for us, and it's always a different setting, and obviously the graphics are amazing, so it actually pulls you in and puts you in that room. And then I think that one thing that we said earlier, which is great about the way that you guys do your games, is that they're kind of collectibles, or they're actually like Monopoly board. If you buy a Monopoly, you'll keep it in your house and play it over and over again, which is what I think this is, as opposed to playing it once and then giving it away or throwing, however, not needing it anymore. I think because if you're gonna have like 60 different alternate endings, like you could play that over and over again, like day after day.
Yeah.
Get a different result. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Right, but on the other side, some of the puzzles will be the same, parts of the story will be the same, so I would be dishonest to tell you that it is fully replayable. It is not. You can play it again to see other parts of the story, obviously. It will be much shorter because you will know some of the puzzle and story, but you can hardly enjoy playing it
Right.
2-3 probably.
Maximum.
People who have low memory or bad memory, and this way they will happily play it after a
Maybe
while.
play it like all over again.
That's me, actually.
So we have a question from one of our viewers. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I want to get it from you guys. Is this game available for purchase on Amazon? I think it is, right?
Yes,
It is. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we just Googled it. So it's,
Yeah, because it'll pop up everywhere.
We got you. Yeah, it's on Amazon. And the last question we have for you guys is, who's your favorite game developer?
Like, what's
And
one of your favorite games?
Gloomhaven, of course. I am a great fan of Gloomhaven and everything related, so most of my free time, if I have someone to play, I'm playing Gloomhaven over and over again, so I am pretty boring in this area.
And for me, honestly, I'm not such a big fan of board games, which is, I think, really good here, because we also always argue about something, because he's maniac of board games. I'm not such a big lover, and we need to make games not for geeks of board games, but for people. So they can be too hard, but also they can be too easy. So I think it's a good combination that I'm not a big fan of board games, and I won't tell you which games my favorite.
What was a actual escape room that you played that could have inspired someone?
Yeah, like a physical location. Is there any that stood out for you?
I feel like a zombie-ish feel in some of these.
There are a lot of great escape rooms that we have visited that were inspirational, so it would be too deep to name just a few, and it would be unfair for the other great escape rooms that we have visited to not tell about them. So there are a lot of great escape rooms in Poland. We have seen most of them, probably. Mm-hmm. Many are really inspirational.
And you need to come to Poland to see escape room.
We've been to Poland. We haven't tried any of the escape rooms, though.
So
Well, oh, sorry, I've been to Poland. I haven't tried. This is before I got into escape rooms. I've been to Gdansk and Gdansk. Yeah, but I mean, it's a beautiful place. I'd love to go back and try the rooms. We played one remotely though.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, we did.
We played the Sherlock
was
Holmes
great.
game, which was a lot of fun.
Let Me Out.
Yes, Let Me Out.
Sherlock game, as I remember.
Yeah, shout out to Let Me Out. That was a really great game that we had.
Yeah, from Poland, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm glad like everything is like semi back to normal after the incident though, that they're taking their, their fire hazards and whatnot very cautiously, and there are rooms that still survive that whole entire situation. I mean, it's kind of sad that this happened, and then he was telling us that the place actually, the new room opened on the day that the pandemic is saying that they had to close, which is really heartbreaking because they just created the new room. So yeah, definitely everybody who is watching from the remote side, at least you'll be able to enjoy it if you're unable to make it to Poland.
Yeah,
So,
definitely check out when you visit Poland. Check out some of the games they have there because we've been hearing great things, and we definitely have it on our bucket list to get over there.
So here's the part.
They are also very cheap for you.
Even more of a reason.
Everybody from richer countries than Poland are saying that quality to the price is unbelievable. So you should see.
Cheaper than Budapest?
Budapest. Budapest is pretty.
That we find very economical.
The most expensive rooms in Poland are costing for a group about $50-$60. The most expensive room.
Wow.
So you see the difference.
So this is probably going to be the most fun part, and hardest part. We're going to quiz our guests on their own product.
Yeah.
So we have 5 questions for you, and if you don't know, it's fine because some of them are from The Awakening, which is your oldest game. It's been a while, so
but we can understand because maybe one of them has low memory.
Yeah, and there's so much information in here, so we tried to give you some easy ones and some hard ones.
Okay.
So the first question we have for you is: in The Awakening, how many game cards does the player receive?
Depends player.
Yes. How much does a player receive? How many game cards?
147.
The Awakening?
You have The Awakening or low memory?
The Awakening was less than 110, but some of them are Doom cards. There were 7 Doom cards, so probably 100. Oh, and 2 spoiler cards, 101.
Close. So, yeah, you have 122 game cards in The Awakening. So it was in between both of your guesses.
Somebody probably added a few more in there after we were done.
I guess, well, before we continue, for those who joined us a little later on, if you want to type Wake Me Up, you'll enter a raffle to receive this game, The Awakening. So just type it in the comment section and we'll announce a winner on our next segment.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your submission. Second question.
In the low memory game, what is Elizabeth's last name?
Weapon.
I think the name, we got one. There you go. Our third question, back to In the Awakening. Who hands Sam the book with the ritual inside of it?
What was it? Mark.
Yes, all right. We got 2 out of 5.
How many puzzles total are there in the low memory game?
In the app.
Oh, in the app.
46?
42.
I would say 42. Was closer.
I think it's 40.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, 41. 41.
Wow, okay.
Last one.
How many action tokens were there in the game? Which one? In The Awakening.
Could you repeat, please?
How many action tokens are there in The Awakening?
18.
18.
Yeah, you said it 18, right?
18.
Yeah, good job.
In location.
You got 4 out of 5. We're gonna give you that 41-42 one because that was very close.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, like we wanted to know, like.
Riddles. There is 42 riddles in app because one is hidden. So there is 41 icons, but one puzzle is hidden, so there is 42.
Right. Well, it's not hidden anymore. Now that people know there's a 40-second more, but you're absolutely right. It is 42.
Like your need to find it, it's hidden.
Yeah, they need to find it.
Are you guys doing any type of bonus puzzles, perhaps, with the next games, like where you're like, I'm hiding something, you're gonna have to earn it? That's actually a pretty cool concept. Like in your new game where you're like, one puzzle's hidden.
Yeah, like is there anything that's hidden within the box or within the puzzles that you would have to like, I don't know, figure out how to open?
Well, to some extent, there is something hidden in the box of low memory that we have used for promotional actions that is not taking part in a game, however you would play and whatever decisions you would make. I will not tell you what is it, maybe you will find it, but there is something in this box that is not taking part in the game, and it is puzzle-ish.
That's
Very
interesting.
cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and play it again now.
Yeah, definitely.
Curious to see, because I know a lot of these games usually have like a Facebook page or like an Instagram fan page. We weren't able to find it for Escape Tales. Was there a reason?
Yes, we had a Facebook page at the beginning of the Awakening, but no one take care of this. So we decided it's better to delay this than keep it just empty. So we've got only a website of the game series.
And Board Game Geek.
And Board Game Geek mainly. So we don't have social media. Yes, I know it's not so good, but honestly, we are not so good at social media. So maybe it's even better. But and also there is quite a problem because there is not so much we can tell about board game with riddles because we can't tell anything about these riddles puzzles
Or the story.
So I don't know what we could put on this social media. I don't even know if Exit have social media,
No
the
idea.
Escape. We need to check this because I think they don't have because there's not so many content really.
Yeah, I guess your self-hint is guidance. Self-hints are pretty accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I love the app, by the way. I think it's amazing being able to use that to answer your puzzles, and then having the hint system to be able to help you within the app instead of going to all different places, emailing, waiting for an answer, or calling or texting. So,
We're gonna save a few minutes though, just in case our audience have any questions.
Yeah.
You're still difficult to find, mysterious people.
Are you guys okay with a little Q&A?
Just in case they had, last minute questions coming in. If you guys have any questions.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions for our guests regarding Escape Tales, their creativity, the future of Escape Tales?
Yeah, or like just a hint on something you can't get from a puzzle. Not that I don't know if they'll remember.
Or if you already played their games and you wanted to just say what you loved about them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If you wanted to follow up also, if you can't think of anything right now, we'll be happy to pass it on to them for them to answer via email and get back to you. That's also another option. So
yeah.
And if anyone missed this, we'll have them later on YouTube and
on our YouTube channel, Escapetheroomers. Yeah.
So that they can rewatch this interview over again. And of course, our last thing is our next audience hour.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to simultaneously stream to Facebook and Instagram. We have to figure out a better solution for that. But since we are saving this recording, it will be on our Facebook page as well. So we have one question that came in. Last few minutes. Oh. How did you get started on your very first project? They came in a little late, so they missed some of our cute questions for you guys. If you want to just sum up, like, how did you guys get started, like, with I guess the first game that you started creating?
So saying short, we just love escape rooms and we played all of the escape games, board games. And we just saw that we can do something a little bit different, maybe not better, but different, and we decided to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another interesting question is, how did you guys become partners? Like, did you guys find each other on the Board Geek
Were you guys friends already?
community?
Or?
Because you play so much games together? Or?
Working together as business partners for about, 15 years now. So it was quite natural part of our job. We are running Lock Me together, and then came idea to do the board game.
Ah, love at first sight.
Yeah. Creativity at first sight.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna end this now because we have another guest coming in 10 minutes.
Yes, we are speaking with Argix Games,
Yeah.
and they also have a raffle that we are giving away as well for their company.
And a brand new Kickstarter project. So
Yeah,
we're excited to talk to them as well. But this is so great, guys. You did a great job with this interview, and thank you for sticking with us with the tech issue at the beginning.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it will be smooth sailing from now on. So.
And thank you so much for joining us on this premiere of our Behind the Mastermind segment, and with these guests who are obviously amazing. We can't wait to play with you guys in the future. And like I said before, for the Escape Room Escape Room Championship, we'll have more information for that if you guys are interested in learning more about that.
And we'll post on there. So,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
If you need to, don't hesitate to ask for help. For hints and clues for you to think it through. Leaderboard or not, is whether you win or lose. 3 hints left for me to choose. 2 hints left for me to use. 1 hint left for me to move. Time is running out, gotta figure something out. 3 hints left for me to choose. 2 hints left for me to use. 1 hint left for me to move. Time is running out, gotta figure something out.